In this video, I'm going to go over the syllabus. Okay, this is Management Science, MGT3560. That's my name, and a couple of phone numbers. I won't be on campus very much, so if you call this number, it's very likely that you leave a message and I never get the message. So I would strongly recommend using this phone number, but most students find it a lot easier to just use my email, and I usually respond back very quickly. And by the way, if you don't hear back from me within 24 hours, it's more than likely that I've somehow missed your email. I apologize. You need to remind me back. So don't hesitate to remind me if you don't hear back from me within 24 hours. So the required textbook, okay, it's there in Blackboard. Make sure that you get the textbook as early as you can. Well, office hours. Office hours is going to be online, 2 to 3:30, Monday through Thursday. And you can also use Zoom, which is a video conferencing software, if you need face-to-face help. Okay, course catalog description, prerequisites. So make sure that you fulfill the prerequisites. And here are the course learning outcomes. So go through that. Okay, and there's going to be 3 categories of assessments. So there'll be homework every week from each chapter, and there'll be quiz each chapter, and there'll be 2 exams, a midterm exam and a final exam. So before the midterm, as we approach the midterm, I'll have more to say about that. The exams will be very similar to the homework problems. Now, homework, you have to use the shell file that I provide, and you have to follow the instructions, and I have a video on that. And here are some step-by-step instructions that you have to follow. Make sure that you follow all of these requirements. And if you don't follow these requirements, you'll end up with a 0 for the homework. So remember that. Read carefully and follow the instructions. I cannot overemphasize this. And students have gotten into trouble by ignoring this in previous semesters. So don't be one of those students. Chapter quizzes, there will be 1 quiz every chapter. 2 attempts are allowed. So exams, take-home exam, and there is a 24-hour time limit within which you have to finish your homework, your exam, and I'll have more to say about that at a later time. Okay, and I have a very strict late policy, but very generous late policy, I would say. So first of all, no late homework or test will be allowed if it is more than 1 week. So that's out of the right off the bat. But then the first 2 late within 1 week is free. Then after that, there is a penalty, 5% for each weekday. And if you've had 5 late homework, that's way too many, and you will not be allowed any more late homework assignments or test. So time commitment, again, we are compressing a 14-week long semester into a 6-week long summer semester, and we still cover the same amount of material, so it's going to be really intense. Okay, first of all, this class is, as you know, that on the average, compared to other classes, this is a more difficult class. And on top of that, we are now offering it in 6 weeks, what we cover in 14 weeks. So it's going to be tremendous time pressure. You should be aware of that. You should be prepared for that. You should set aside sufficient time. Otherwise, you're not going to do well in the exams or in the homework or ultimately in class. So the calendar is kind of a little crazy. The first week starts on a 17th is like Wednesday, so it's a kind of a shortened week. So we have chapter 1 it's not, there is no homework also in chapter 1. It's just an introductory chapter. So you have a shortened week for these 2 chapters, and then you have a good 5 weeks of classes, a good amount of material, and then the last week is just 2 days, which is June 26 and 27, and that will be just 1 chapter. A couple of problems there, but you need to be prepared for this, and I would strongly recommend that you try to get this chapter done a little earlier in week 6 itself, because week 6 chapter 7 is not a big chapter, so part of the chapter 10 you should try to finish in week 6 itself. And I have a separate video for how the course is laid out in Blackboard, the classwork and homework and things like that. And if you have any trouble with the technology, computers, you need to call the help desk people. Don't call me. I have nothing to do with any of that. So this should be 2013 or later. You need to use Excel 2013. Oh, this is okay. You need to use 2013, 2016. So earlier than that, some of the functions are not supported, so you'll have trouble completing the assignments. And Mac is not supported, by the way, so don't use Mac. If you use Mac, you're on your own.